at the start of the Six Nations or before the first series of matches this weekend, taking a helicopter view, do you feel that this is probably going to be one of the most competitive Six Nations for a hell of a long time?
Yeah, I think so. That's what we're preparing for. We've really only focused on our first game, but you look across the competition, and when the squads are being announced, and all teams are coming off back of a good November. A lot of teams from last year's Six Nations will maybe feel like they could have done a little bit better. Wales obviously, having won it, probably felt they should have won a Grand Slam, but then there's a few other teams in there going, well, we maybe should have, if we had started the tournament a bit better, I think there's a lot of teams in that boat. So I think when you put it like that, I think teams would be coming in with big aspirations, and even a team like Italy, where they've got a coach that they know so well from having such success with Treviso coming back. I think that they'll be much better this year as well.
Can you talk about the rivalry between Ireland and Wales and how that's developed and evolved even in the period of time that you've been involved, where you seem to be pretty decent friends off the pitch when you go on things like Lions tours, but on the pitch there's a massive rivalry between the two countries?
Yeah, look, I think there's probably a rivalry in almost every game in their own unique way, and with us in Wales, there has been big battles over the years. A lot of the rivalry, I think, in my early days, especially, there was a nastier side to it. I think now it's when you talk about rivalries in sport, Leinster, Munster, all the provinces, we have that rivalry, and it's because you don't like losing to the guys closest to you. So there's probably a little bit of an element of that with the Welsh boys, that they get on so well with the Irish boys on Lions tours and after games, and yeah, when you've got relationships like that, you don't want to lose to people you're close to. But not all the rivalries are like that. Some of them you're just not close to the other people, and you want to beat them.
Man, thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
Johnny, how are you? Paul from Virgin Media. How are you getting on?
Hi, Paul. Good, thanks.
Johnny, is this a great opportunity for Ireland to get off to a winning start, considering Wales' injury list at the moment?
Again, we haven't spoke too much about who they're missing. We've spoke about who they've got. They played November with a lot of the same injuries and picked up some good results and good performances. So they had some injuries through the Six Nations last year, and they ended up winning it. So we haven't spoke about it too much. All we're doing is preparing to play against a very good Welsh team that has had great run of form over the last year, and that is honestly what we've seen. We see a big tough test ahead, and that's what we're preparing for.
Sure, you got an advantage though, considering the type of players that they are missing, Johnny.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that, because then I'm insulting the guys that are coming in, and I think the guys that are coming in are excellent players, and the guys that are injured, of course, have big reputations because they've played multiple tests for their country. They've performed week in, week out. But these other guys that are coming in, who are at the start of their journey, could go on and have the same careers as the guys ahead of them. So no, there's not one ounce of complacency in our squad, and some of the calibre of player that are missing, but they've got some excellent players to come in and replace them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi Johnny, Aisling here from Off the Ball. How are you?
Hi Aisling, good, thank you.
Good. What's the mood been like in the camp, and how has all the preparation been going?
Yeah, look, the mood's been good. It helps when you come off the back of a good November. Very happy camp. We've spoken about trying to take it to a new level. And look, it's been a fantastic environment to be in part of over the last 2 years. And it's really changed, but we've figured out ways to push it on and make it better in terms of our performances as well. And we've been working hard, don't get me wrong. It hasn't been all slapping each other on the back. It's been tough work over here, and we're looking forward. Well, we're into the proper preparation of a test week now, and we will be good to go when we leave here on Wednesday.
When we got a chance to speak to all the captains at the launch last week, and I spoke with Dan Bigger, and he said that whenever he gets asked who's the most difficult person to play against over the last 10 to 12 years, that he said that no doubt your name is up there at the top. You'll be looking forward to coming up against him on Saturday?
Yeah, we've had some great battles over the years. He's a good pal of mine, and he is. The captaincy is something that he deserves thoroughly. You know, he's led from the front. You know, since probably 2015 when he made the jersey his own, and he's been a mainstay of the team. And I'm looking forward to coming up against him on Saturday. I think he's improved his game immensely over the years. I think his move to Northampton, you know, working with different coaches, you can see the improvements in his game, and you know, he's a world class operator. So we've been preparing for him all week, and obviously they've got some other really good number 10s. You know, that will be backing them up, that we need to be ready for if they come on.
Brilliant, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Johnny. We were talking to the captains last week at the launch as well, and I was just asking them what they're thinking about during their national anthems. And Dan Bigger was saying that he's far along in his career now, that he's almost thinking of the first play during it. He's able to sing the song, but he's thinking of that. What are you thinking during around the V and then during Ireland's call as well? What emotions is going on when you're standing for those songs?
I don't know really. They change. You know, when you're trying to think about the first play, but it's an emotional time. You know, you're standing in front of, you know, your country. You know, everyone's watching you. Your family, your friends are right in front of you. You can see them. You can pick them out in the crowd. So it can be a very emotional time. So it can be a challenge to concentrate on the first play. And sometimes you need to feed off that emotion. Other times you need to stay calm and think about the first moments of the game. And it's a mixture of all those things, really.
And is there a difference between the two songs for you? How you're feeling during them? Are you attached to more to one song than the other?
No, I like it. I suppose I'm very lucky. I've played a lot of home games for Ireland, so I'm used to both of them. I think they've both got their uniqueness, and you know, I'm very proud to sing both of them, and that's it really.
Best of luck at the weekend, John.
Thank you.
Johnny, in terms of strength of depth coming into Six Nations, how good a position do you feel like you're in terms of fitness across the squad, form with Province and with how guys played in the autumn? Is it feeling good in your time here?
Yeah, like it's look, we're in, like I said this last week at the captain's launch, we're in a very similar position to we were in November. We, you know, not a hell of a lot of game time in most of the lads, with COVID games being called off, guys coming back from sickness themselves or injuries. So but it was the same coming into November. Some Lions guys had played one game or not even a game, and we hit the ground running. So it's not an excuse, or it's not something that we spoke about. When you come in the door of Irish camp, you're expected to hit certain standards, and the guys that are doing it in training day in, day out will be the guys that are picked for the weekend, and the guys that won't, and that's it really in a nutshell. It's not something we think about, but you know, the proof will be in the pudding on Saturday. Like, you know, if we come and put in a good performance and we win, well then we can say, no, we were fresh and we were good to go. If we go out and don't play well and lose, well then we can, you know, people might be saying, oh, they were undercooked. So you'll be judged by your result and your performance, but there's no excuses internally.
Is last year's game a reminder of the small margins in this tournament in particular? Sorry for the dog and
yeah, exactly. That's it. The game was, you know, obviously going down to 14 men early in the game, but you know, some of the things we look back on in that game were, you know, frustrations and things that we didn't execute as well. And like you said, small margins, you know, right up till the final whistle, small margins. And yeah, you don't like looking back on games with regrets. You like to, you know, look back and say, you know, we ticked every box. We did everything we wanted to do, and you know, sometimes you lose and you can accept it. But yeah, we look back on that game with some frustrations.
Hi Johnny, hope you're well. Just keeping with the Ulster theme, I know Gavin's up here too. We've had a lot of exciting backs to watch this year. How are they getting on in training, and do you expect them to make an impact during this tournament?
Yeah, they've been training really well. Those Ulster guys, you know, they've been in great form for their for Ulster. You know, had some big wins in the Champions Cup, and had some really good form, and yeah, like, you know, Mike Larry's a pleasure to deal with day in, day out. Rob Balakoon, you know, both great attitudes. You know, James Hume as well, like, want to learn, want to pick up all the things that, you know, that the guys that have been in camp more than them, you know, have, and get that information into them, and they've been excellent, and that's all you can ask for, really. And yeah, I'm sure when their chance comes, they'll be ready to snap it up.